Alright, so boom, the holiday season are upon us, starting off with Halloween. You know, I low-key think it's a little fun holiday, even as an adult. Because as a kid, all you cared about was dressing up as a ninja, a bootleg version of your favorite Marvel or DC hero, and obviously the candy. Especially if you came across a house that left a whole bowl of candy outside with a piece of paper saying, please take one. Like, are you dumb? That's mine now. Plus the bowl. Shout out to the dumbass who came up with that concept. But as an adult, I am slightly intrigued when Halloween comes around. I'm really into the horror stuff like the movies, the games, the goofy ghost videos, the short horror films. And it's interesting to see what some of my favorite content creators will put out or come out during this time. Plus, you got some of the dope cosplays people make. So I thought, what better way to celebrate Halloween by talking about those good old classic episodes, specials, and maybe movies from back in the day. I don't know what it was about the holiday episodes, but there was something special about them. You know, you had to remember the date and what time so you didn't miss it. Because at the time, for certain shows, where else are you gonna watch it? The internet, yeah, if you wanted to get a virus on your family's PC, then you might beat your ass wondering why no PC don't work no more. There was TiVo, but that was exotic, something foreign, that was some rich shit. So we peasants had to engrave that date and time into our membrane. And when it finally came time for the episode to air, I was locked in all giddy, make sure I didn't miss nothing. I don't know, maybe because I was a kid that was happy at the time. I don't know about now though. And I was probably influenced by the holiday spirit, but they just had a different feel to them. They threw all logic out the window and just had fun with goofy storylines and sometimes even creepy. Now when I say from back in the day, I mean from between 1998 to 2009, because after that I wasn't really watching anything on TV, and I don't recall if they ever did any more Halloween episodes. So by the end of all this, I'm going to quickly rank them, because what really matters is how well they hold up even in today's standards. And one last thing before we get that nostalgia drug going, let me just say real quick, if I don't talk about a certain episode, it's probably because I didn't watch the show, or maybe it wasn't that notable, or it was fucking garbage. Anyways, that's old Raven's Halloween episode titled Don't Have a Cow. Honestly, I wasn't sure if this show had a Halloween episode just like some of the others I'm going to talk about. Regardless, it was kind of a mid episode. Basically, Raven and Chelsea want to get invited to a Halloween party that the most popular girl is having, but since she dislikes Raven for whatever reason, they're not invited. So while they're trying to make their own fun, they find a spell book that contains the spell to wish for whatever you want, which of course backfires on them when they wish to be invited to the party and have the best costumes there, but they didn't notice Chelsea's cow button falling. So we see they slowly begin to turn to cows, and by the end of the episode, they fully turn to cows. But it turns out it was all just one of Raven's visions. I guess it was cool to see some witchcraft, just like how cool it was that Zack and Cody had 2 Halloween episodes. Well, technically it was 1 Halloween episode, since one that wasn't themed around it. Also, it's funny since Disney Plus had it advertised as one, but not the actual Halloween episode. Regardless, the first one titled Ghost of 613 is about supposedly haunted suite. So they try to make contact with ghosts, and while they're doing so, they begin to drag away one by one, only leaving Zack all alone screaming like a little girl. But it turns out it was all a prank to get back at him for all the shenanigans he's done. Now the second one is a real Halloween episode titled Armenstein. So Zack and Cody end up discovering the robot that Armin has created. And of course, being the dumbass brother, Zack frees it so he could try to make a profit off it, which I low-key respect the hustle. Anyways, the robot ends up at London's Halloween party. Somehow it wins the best costume there. And since it gets triggered when this flashing light starts going rampage, and the crowd of people retaliate to have Armin dismantle it. But they change their mind when it calls Armin dad. Both of these episodes stand out in my memories. The sound effects and music were on point. By far the funniest ones I've...
Yeah, what'd you go as? You! Huh? What do you mean by that?
iCarly, another one with 2 Halloween episodes. The first one titled Ice Cream on Halloween is one that I remember the episode but not the Halloween part of it. Honestly, upon rewatching it, I realized it's kind of like a watered down version of Zack and Cody's not Halloween episode. Just less funny and not spooky at all. Spencer created the episode. Now the second one titled I Halloween is a little better. Carly decides instead of waiting for Halloween to be able to dress up, why don't they just make up a new holiday called Halloween? So they have a party for it. It's enjoyable up until Neville reveals himself. Then it's too much cringe for me to handle. Now Kim Possible's Halloween episode titled October 31st. Honestly, all I have to say is Shigo, with her fine ass. Nah, let me stop. So we got the traditional festivities here with Kim fighting the baddies, but you got an interesting twist on Pinocchio's story when Kim gets a bracelet stuck on her wrist, and each time she lies, it slowly transforms into a suit of armor, which I thought was pretty unique. The Proud Family's Halloween episode titled Here for Halloween was all over the place, but not in a bad way. Again, you got the traditional festivities, ghosts, a house that's haunted, and for some reason a superhero fighting a ghost. I guess. I will say though, during the middle of the episode, it was weird to see Master P's nephew in the show promote his new song at the time. Other than that, it was whatever. Jimmy Neutron's Halloween episode titled Nightmare in Retroville. I only have one minor nitpick. Why the hell is the town so empty on a holiday like this? But other than that, it was pretty enjoyed.
Boy, that is good. I mean, that is really good.
SpongeBob's Halloween episode titled Scaredy Pants, a childhood classic. I don't even need to summarize it. It's short, simple, has a Halloween feel, and has that good sound choice. Big W, you love to see it. Now Foster's Halloween episode titled Nightmare on Wilson Way. I thought I watched this as a kid, but I did not. So my first impression, it was really enjoyable. It really hooked me in when the Big Night of the Living Dead prank started. It did lose me a little when Max started going crazy off that hooch. Thankfully that was towards the end. I think I definitely would have loved this as a kid, and it probably would have stood out in my memories. And Ed and Eddie's Halloween episode titled Boo Ha Ha Ha. What can I say? You got the boys getting up to the usual shenanigans trying to find a place that doesn't exist. At the same time, you got Ed being a nutcase from watching too many scary movies, which causes him to beat the kids in the cul-de-sac's ass. Just another class.
I am Stephen Anthony Lawrence from Even Stevens, and you're watching Disney Channel. Ta-da!
Philly Future's Halloween episode titled Halloween opens up with a Twilight Zone reference, so you know it has to be good. You have Debbie, who's been replaced by a cyborg, trying to take over the school where cupcakes for the needy. So she strong arms Pim and other students to help her bake 50,000 cupcakes. She almost succeeds, but thanks to good old reliable Phil, they defeat the cyborg since it can't handle not only nibblers, so it overheats and melts. In the end, or is it? Honestly, it's such a simple and goofy idea, but it somehow works. It really hits that spooky atmosphere. It has that Halloween magic to it, and if you want a little bit more Philly Future, go watch my video Underrated as Hell, where I talk a little bit more about Philly Future and other things that are underrated. W plug. Billy and Mandy is another one with 2 Halloween episodes, which I almost forgot about. The first one, titled Grim or Gregory, is about Grim somehow getting mistaken for somebody's kid, and Billy thinking the kid is Grim. It's really simple. Now the second one, titled Billy and Mandy Jacked Up Halloween, is the best out of all the cartoons. Do I really need to say much? We introduced a new character, Jack, who I always thought his design was sick. I don't know why, but essentially he's immortal thanks to the deal he made with Grim. So because of this, he wants revenge on him since he's only able to leave his house once a year on Halloween. Then thanks to Billy, he gets his hand on Grim's safe, so he's able to terrorize the town, and he almost sees his plan. But since he loves playing pranks so much, he begins to uncontrollably laugh at Erwin and get his ass handed to him by Manny's traps, which causes him to drop the safe and gets him sent to hell by Grim. It's just a really great episode. Even Stevens, the show I feel like people forget existed. Nonetheless, a Halloween episode titled Very Scary Stories was one of the ones that really stood out in my memories. So Lewis wants to pull the greatest school prank ever during lunch, but when one of his friends fails to show up at the agreed time, he goes to confront them about their whereabouts. He starts to realize something very weird is going on with the people who have gotten their eyes checked. Then his suspicions are confirmed when he asks his friends to remove their glasses, and their eyeballs are missing. The whole school becomes brainwashed, so they try to capture him, which of course they do, thanks to his sister being the mastermind behind all this. Honestly, her ego is crazy, since her plan was to transform everyone into a copy of her, but it's all just a story Lewis was telling Beans. They really went balls to the wall with it, and I still love
White fever get in your blood, man, that'll make you crazy.
You don't find that suspicious?
Next show. As declassified Halloween episode titled Halloween/Vampires, Ghosts, Werewolves, and Zombies might be my third favorite out of all of these. You got the first half of the episode that's just a parody of Weekend at Bernie's. If you know, you know. Then the second half is basically Monster Academy, where we see Ned trying to pass the bats exam. We see Moles trying to make more ghost friends, like literally. We see Cookie run away from Frankenstein for some reason, even though he's a werewolf. And by the end of it all, they get turned into ghosts thanks to Gordy. It might not have been creepy or really spooky, but that's fine. It still had the Halloween magic to it. They just had fun with the idea. It was wacky and goofy. Such a W show.
Hell no, man.
Lizzie McGuire's Halloween episode titled Night of the Day of the Dead, just another one that really stands out in my memories. It genuinely creeped me out as a kid. So Lizzie's school is having a Halloween party that Kate was in charge of putting together. And since she's that type of character, she disrespects Miranda's dolls from her culture. So weird things begin to happen to the main cast, and the dolls come to life. But it was all an elaborate prank to get back at Kate for being such a snob. It just slaps. And it was dope that they mixed in Dia de los Muertos. Low key, I saved the best for last. So Boy Meets World Halloween episode titled The Witches of Pembroke. I don't recall ever watching.
Heard you talking to Satan. Hey guys, got the pizza. Ow! Jack, did you just see that?
He tried to kiss me.
You creep. She was talking to Satan.
Are you gonna let him talk to me like this?
You know, I don't believe you, man. For the first time I'm doing something without you, you can't handle it and you try to take my girlfriend. She doesn't belong to you, Jack. She belongs
To the streets.
That's basically the whole thing. It was ass. That's probably why I don't remember it. Thankfully, it had a second Halloween episode titled And Then There Was Sean. It has nothing to do with the holiday, but they were aired whenever Halloween came around. It's literally the best out of every show. If you have Disney Plus, go watch it if you haven't, or rewatch it. Like if you love 90s slasher, it's straight up parody on the genre and all the tropes. So to quickly summarize, Sean gets the main cast of somebody named Kenny detention for disrupting the class. Mr. Feeney leaves since he isn't required to stay. Once he leaves though, strange things begin to happen. Then they notice a message on the chalkboard written in blood. They start to hear something approaching the classroom, but just arrogant Jack. After this, madness begins to ensue. One by one, they get killed off. It's revealed all the killer wanted was for Corey and Topanga to get back together. Then Sean unmasks the killer, and it turns out to be himself. But it was all just a dream, or was it? Let's be honest, it's a banger. So now with that trip down memory lane out of the way, I can finally quickly rank these. You know, now looking at this, I didn't realize there was this many episodes I had to rewatch. There's probably like 4 or 5 shows here that if I roast them, I might get crucified and hang for. Also, if any of these shows had any horror references or movies or shows that I love, I will be a little biased. And I know I said if I don't mention a show, it wasn't normal or it was ass, but it can't all be rainbows and sunshine. Jimmy Neutron's Halloween episode is tier. You know, if you want more Halloween, sure, I guess. Boy Meets World's not a Halloween episode, certified classic. The camera shots, it's funny, it's entertaining, it has an atmosphere, the references, the sound effects, and the music. American Dragon Jake Long's Halloween episode is tier. It felt more like a regular episode that just happens to be on October 31st. The main focus was Jay losing his dragon powers and him using the Halloween party to tell him to fight the Haas clan. I don't know, it didn't have that special feel to it. Kim Possible's Halloween episode, you know, it may not have the spookiness or the atmosphere, but I don't know, it's just really good. Plus you go. And the Fairly Odd Parents Halloween episode, the Pumpkinator is cool looking. Yeah, I don't have really anything to say. It was boring. Tier. Hannah Montana's Halloween episode, no lies, another one. I remember this episode with her twin cousin, but I did not remember the Halloween part of it until I rewatched it. And this episode should be titled The Biggest Hater Is, because oh my god, there's so much hating and me stuff going on. Like flag on the playlist, that's a dick riding ass tier. That's So Raven's Halloween episode. I don't have much else to say. There's some funny moments. Other than that, nothing really stands out. It's Lizzie McGuire's Halloween episode, certified classic, hits all the notes. Zack and Cody's Not Halloween episode, certified classic. Again, it hits all the notes, and it still had me laughing all we watching it. The Proud Family's Halloween episode starts off fine, but it kind of loses my interest once Penny becomes a superhero. Sadly, it's forgettable. Even Steven's Halloween episode, another certified classic. Just like the others, it hits all the notes. You know what, going forward, what I put in classic doesn't need explanation. Unless I have more to say about it. Billy and Mandy's second Halloween episode, certified classic. Zack and Cody's actual Halloween episode. The tone isn't as serious or spooky as the other one, and there were some questionable lines, but it's still good. Hey Arnold's Halloween episode. Not much to say. It was interesting to see Arnold send the whole town to mass hysteria when they think aliens are invading. Other than that, it was tier. SpongeBob's Halloween episode, certified classic. And it's from when the show was at its best. Come on. Wizards of the Way You Place Halloween episode is awful, especially with that CGI. There's only one good thing I can say about it, and that is one of the characters taking a whole bowl of candy, including the bowl too, and that's real. Other than that, it was so garbage. S tier. For the Future's Halloween episode, I'm biased here because it's Twilight Zone reference, so you know it's a certified classic. Zoe 101's Halloween episode, I ain't gonna lie, Nickelodeon taking a massive L on this one. Like, really creepy feels that, the spooky atmosphere, the Halloween magic, it's goddamn atrocious. You know what, fuck that, gets his own tier, burnished from my memory and history. iCarly's first Halloween episode, there's only two memorable things about it. Spencer Slade carries it, and Sam hitting her head against camera. I don't know why, but it was funny. Other than that, it's tier. That is a classified Halloween episode. Come on, certified classic. Foster's Halloween episode really surprised me on how enjoyable it was, even to this day. It has a spookiness and Halloween magic. It's good. iCarly's second Halloween episode isn't bad. It's enjoyable up until you realize who's in the robot. It's ruined because Neville is such an annoying character. It's Ed and Eddie's Halloween episode should be a certified classic, but I feel like it's missing something to elevate it. I don't know what it is. Regardless though, it's good. Billy and Mandy's first Halloween episode, nothing crazy happens. It's not bad. The problem is only the first half of the episode is about Halloween, so it wasn't heavily focused on it. It's And finally, Boy Meets World's actual Halloween episode is ass. It's not really about the holiday. The Halloween part of it is there in the background towards the end of the episode. It's just about a lame wannabe witch cult and a girl coming between Eric and Jack. Terrible. Well, that's all the shows I had to talk about. I could have went really meme heavy or scuffed with the Steelers, but I think it was best to keep it traditional. It was really fun making this video, rewatching the shows I grew up with. I'm glad most of these episodes I have fond memories of when I was a kid still hold up to this day. I will say though, why was there a good amount of ayo sus moments? Like, it was wild. Now back then. Nonetheless, I still enjoyed it. Also, just because I talk bad or shit on an episode doesn't mean I think the show is bad. One episode isn't a reflection of the entire show, in most cases. I really wanted to make 2 videos for Halloween. Unfortunately, I couldn't find time to. I was looking forward to talking about the movies. But with that being said, it's time to wrap this up. If you got the nostalgia feel or enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, share with the fam, the boys, the homies, your girlfriend or boyfriend. I would highly appreciate it. Other than that though, I'm out. Peace.